Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds to show my appreciation. Steph Bell, what's up, Boston? Sean Lunatic, yo. JB, Chicago. Sheila Reed, New York. Jared, what's up, Jared? Fred Braxton, Temple, Texas in the house. What up, H-Town? Let's see. We got Michael Woodard. What's up, Mike? Ed E. Kane, Maine. That would be Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. And Miss Jazzy is in the building. There is no better way to transition into this story than to give Miss Jazzy a shout out. Going in, fam. Going in. Let me put up my subject right quick. We got this dude. This dude threw a temper tantrum, a terrible temper tantrum, but he looked like he may be somewhere in the neighborhood of 62, maybe 72. In any event, this guy loses his life savings, allegedly, and jumps on top of the crap table and starts throwing chips all over the place. Yeah, fam. And he lived to tell about it. He actually was throwing chips at the security and everything. And they let him go on with it for a while. That's what tripped me out. It was like there was no immediate rush to prevent him from acting a fool. One might say that he was acting like an uncivilized mutt. Family, this gambling thing ain't for everybody. I want you to know this. Gambling is not for everybody, including me. I don't gamble. If there's such a thing as gambling for me, it's with business, strictly business. I do not play chance games like that. I like to put in the work and get paid after the work is done. All this stuff, just rolling in and taking money and just rolling the dice on money. Man. Now, those days are behind me. Those days are behind me. And I'm going to break this down a little further, fam, because somebody out there that's listening right now got a gambling problem. Let me break it down for you. Watch this. Let me take dude off the screen for a moment so y'all can see the sincerity in my face. Let me explain something to y'all about gambling. When you work and get paid, you already won. Let me say that again. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. When you work and get paid, you already won. It don't make a lot of sense to take good, legal, clean money and mix it up with dirty money. A lot of times when you're taking clean money and mixing it, you're going to lose because the people with the dirty money, they got all of the advantages, especially the house. The house don't win all the time, but the house wins so much that you'll forget that there are others who actually win. The house is a killer, the beast. The house wins. You can even take a regular, let's say a game of tunk, for those of you who are familiar with tunk. Take a regular game of tunk. And let's just say everybody that's playing the game there ain't no more than $200 between four people. If they play long enough, half of that money gonna go to the house. When the house cut, half of that $200 gonna end up in the pockets of the house. If one person walks out as a winner, if one person cleans house and they play long enough, the house gonna walk off with half of that money, or damn near half of that money. The house is in very good shape. Take a game of poker. Just take some regular guys who maybe they make, let's say these guys, just regular pay, let's say they make $1,500 a week, and you got 8 guys playing. Man, the house gonna end up with a few $1,000s no matter what. And all you got to do if you the house is provide some free liquor and some popcorn or some chips or something like that, and people happy. And you're gonna get paid. The house is the winner. I've seen people gamble. Well, let me stick with my experience first, so I can really hammer home to you guys why I really don't gamble. When you gamble, especially if you gamble often like I used to do when I was in my 20s, after all is said and done, you may have won a little more, or you may have lost a little more. But what you're going to lose more than anything is a lot of time, a lot of quality time from your family and friends or whatever, just life, your life in general. You're going to lose a lot of quality time. You're going to make some enemies along the way because you're gambling. And when you're gambling, you're taking people's money. People feel some kind of way about that money, man. They feel some type of way. It can be your best friend, but you gambling your best friend, and you getting it could be your brother, your mama. All they know is that you took that light bill money. But you ain't take it. You want it, but you took it, right? You the reason why they couldn't pay that light bill, even though they gambled and they took the chance. You won the money. You're the reason why they couldn't pay the light bill. So you collecting enemies along the way when you're gambling. So you also end up a lot of times, if you're a real hard gambler, you end up ruining romantic, intimate relationships. Because invariably it'll come to that time where you're going to lose money. You're going to take money out the pot. You're going to gamble and you're going to lose. So it's all good when you're winning. It's all good. Everybody's going to celebrate you winning. It's all good. But when you lose, that woman going to be looking at you like, sorry ass. Here we go again. It's too much inconsistency, too much unknown. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. You just don't, and women like stability. Like they like to know. Whatever that amount is, whatever her lifestyle is, she could be living in a mansion or a gunshot house, a shotgun house in the hood. She got to know that them bills, whatever that is going to be taken care of. She got to know that, or it's going to be a problem. Perhaps you the type of dude who give your woman an allowance. Maybe you give her $1,000, a week or whatever. Maybe you give her $100 a week, $50 a week. Whatever that is, she needs to know she's going to get that every week, or it's going to be a problem. And you can't guarantee that when you're gambling. It's some dudes who have been millionaires, worth a few $100 million. They're broke today, and they own the casinos. They owe the casinos money right now. They owe the casinos money. You wouldn't believe how many dudes out there owe casinos money right now. They can't go back to Vegas or wherever they gamble at. They be moving around, going from Louisiana to Vegas to Oklahoma, Turks and Caicos. Family. Yeah, man. I don't get down like that. I don't get down like that anymore. I don't do it because that's all you lose. You end up losing a bunch of time. And you also end up losing time on life because gambling can be stressful when you're losing. Even when you're winning, gamble is stressful. But when you're losing, it can be really stressful. It puts you in a bad mood. It takes you outside of your character. You start acting like a dope fiend. You might not be on dope, but you acting like a dope fiend because you going into your bank account, spending more money than you intended on spending. You going out to the casino, leaving certain credit cards at home because you know if you take them, you're gonna use that money. All that kind of, you know what I'm saying, man? Nah, man, you know, like, yes. So that's why I don't do it anymore. I stopped gambling in 2000. You can't even get me to say, I bet you won't. I don't do no betting. I don't do no gambling, period. None whatsoever. And I haven't even gotten to the part where sometimes people commit suicide because they end up losing everything. Gambling, it ain't no joke. And it's funny how you'll see these commercials, these advertisements with gambling agencies, and they'll tell you how great, you know, how you should gamble and come have a good time and spin the wheel and play some blackjack and all. They make it seem really, really good, you know. And then at the very end, they'll say, if you have a gambling addiction, man, let me tell you something. If there's ever a disclaimer at the end of an advertisement where they're telling you to come out and spend money on a product, if there's ever a disclaimer, run to the left or to the right, or up the middle, or wherever, just run. It's like using a drug. They have a drug commercial and they tell you how great the drug is, how it's going to change your life. And then at the very end, may cause vomiting, severe headaches, and even death. And people still go use it. They still buy it. Now I'll try something different. I'm going to try something different. So that's how I rock, fam. You know, this dude had a temper tantrum, and I think he swung on security. He going to jail, or he went to jail. Don't know when that video was shot, but this guy lost his mind. This is one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. Look at this dude on top of the crap table. He lost his mind. Boy lost his life savings. Life savings. It can happen. Now, family, if I do any kind of gambling, I'm going to gamble on business. Yeah. At least if you gamble on business and you lose, typically you got something to sell. You got some type of assets that you can go ahead and sell and say, okay, I tried it, didn't work. You know, perhaps you try to start a concrete repair business or something, maybe, and it didn't work out. Well, at least you got a truck, you know, you got some materials, you got some equipment that you can go pawn or you can sell off to somebody else who might be trying to get into the business. You know, if you perhaps go out and start a graphics company, you say, you know, I'm going to start this graphics company and the thing go bust. At least you got some computers and you got some software you can sell. You know, you want to go start I don't know, a therapy clinic. It go bust. You can sell your software, you can sell your computers, you can sell your furniture. You can even sell, your clients list or your the lawyers list that you have, uh, your leads, right? You got something you can sell. But with gambling, you walk out there with your money gone and nothing. You walk away with nothing but humility. Nah, I've been there, done that, fam. And I'm glad that I did it when I was younger, much younger. I'm glad that I got it out of my system. I'm glad, especially that craps. Let me tell y'all something about shooting craps. I probably seen more people get killed uh, dealing with craps than I've seen anybody get killed over anything else. I'm talking about personally seeing get killed. Like I saw the first time I saw something like that, I was 5 years old. I was with my uncle. He took me with him to a gambling shack. I saw a man get killed when I was 5 years old over over a dice game. So that's why I never played dice. I didn't start even shooting dice till I was like 24. I think I was about 24 before I ever shot dice. Because I was still shook from seeing that. So yeah, I don't do that. That dice. Another thing about that dice is that dice is easy to load up. You getting up, you go to work. You go to work, whatever work that you do, you go to work, you come back with good, clean money. Now you being greedy because you want that other money over there too. So you're going to roll that dice. Unless you came there with those dice, you better not roll those dice because more than likely those dice are loaded. You really got to understand that, how easy it is to load dice. I was shooting dice for these guys out in, where were we at? We were in San Francisco shooting dice. And we were in a hotel room, a suite. And, high stakes. We rolling. I mean, like it's money everywhere. And I watched them first. And then I was like, well, let me shake the dice just to make sure. Let me see them. Let me check them. So I checked them. I threw them up a couple of times. And then I gave them back to him. And then so dude started rolling the dice. The dude who brought the dice started rolling the dice. Well, his buddy brought the dice, pulled the dice out. So he started rolling the dice. And I caught those dice about 20 times in a row. Every time. After the 10th time, he said, say, man, you know what I'm saying? You gonna catch everything? I said, yeah, I'm gonna catch what I don't like. So he kept rolling. I caught every single time. I said, you know what, man? I'm out. And I walked off because I knew, that was trouble. That's gonna be some trouble. Because there ain't no way I was gonna let him take a nickel of mine. So yeah, man, I don't do that, And it's a dark element to gambling. It's a dark element. There are people who sit back, especially if you're gambling outside of Vegas, or even if you're gambling in Vegas, sometimes people just stand around and they watch and they try to see who hitting licks. And then they're going to try to follow you wherever you're going, right? If you win. Then you got the kind, hell, even if you lose, if you got certain type of jewelry on and stuff like that, and they know you got it, they might follow you, right? You got to be real careful, man. Might try to follow you to your room, try to follow you to the house, follow you to the next stop where you're going, restaurant, wherever you're going, club, whatever, You got the hitters who sit back. They know, okay, they gamble over there. That little warehouse right there, that's where they be gambling at. And usually it's an inside job. Security, either security set it up. Sometimes the guy who running the gambling shack set it up. That's how cold the game is, fam. Sometimes they'll set you up. Or it's another player. Somebody may be disgruntled. They lost their money, and they want to see somebody else take a loss. So they're going to set you up. Next thing you know, it's on the news. 3 people dead, 2 injured. Gambling. Yeah, I don't mess around. Here's one more reason why I'm going to tell you why I don't gamble. So I used to gamble on sports all the time. I stopped gambling on football when the Buffalo Bills came back against the Houston Oilers. When the Buffalo Bills had Houston had a 35-3 lead at halftime. No team in the history of football had ever come back from a 32-point deficit. I was certain that we had that thing wrapped up. It was to go to the playoffs. It was either to go to the playoffs or advance. I think it was to advance. In any event, man, Buffalo methodically came back on them boys and won the game. I said, that's it. Sometimes it takes big stuff like that. Sometimes I just got to be mad to stop doing something. Just make me mad enough. I stopped gambling on boxing when my buddy John Horn, who was the manager for Mike Tyson, told me after the Peter McNeely fight and Mike was getting ready to fight Holyfield. He said, man, Mike gonna kill Holyfield. Mike ready to go to train right now. This is right after Mike knocked out Peter McNeely. I think his name was Peter McNeely in the first round. And Mike, he told me Mike was ready to go to training camp the same night. I was like, ooh, Mike, you ready to go to training camp the same night? Ooh, he gonna kill him. So I'm going around trying to get everybody and their mama to bet against Mike, but they won't take it because all the dudes in the hood was going for Mike. Everybody was riding with Mike. I couldn't get nobody to vote, nobody to bet against me. On the night of the fight, me and this youngster, we at his house and we watching the fight. We getting ready to watch the fight, and we made a little friendly $5 wager. And keep in mind, knowing what I know, I'm thinking Mike gonna kill him. This youngster don't know what he talking about. He don't know. He like, man, I think Holyfield gonna get him. I think Holyfield gonna beat him, man. I'm like, yeah, right. Y'all know how that went. So I stopped betting on boxing. Now here's the deal. I might gamble again someday, but I gotta know the fix is in. I will gamble. If I know the fix is in, if I know something fixed, I gamble. I'll put up a little something if I know it's fixed. I ain't gonna put up the house. I ain't losing no cars or nothing. But I bet if I know it's fixed. Don't judge me, man, because you know I think some of y'all would do that same thing. If y'all knew the fight was fixed, you know somebody gonna take a dive. I think y'all would get that free money too. Yeah, so yeah, fam. Yeah, gambling is not for the faint of heart. I would not advise it under any circumstances. I've seen men lose their whole families. Yeah, I've seen men who was married for years lose their whole families over gambling because of their gambling addiction. Now, when they were winning, it was no problem. The problem is going to always be when you start losing. It's kind of like robbing a bank or embezzling money, committing fraud or whatever it is. As long as you're winning and you don't get caught up, everything copacetic. But the moment you get caught up and the people come down on your head, that hammer come down on you, say, man, there's gonna be some problems. You're gonna have some serious problems. And she ain't gonna be there when you get back. You know how I know she ain't gonna be there when you get back? And how you gonna know? Because she gonna leave you while you're going through it. She ain't gonna even wait till you, she's not gonna even wait till you get convicted. She gonna say, they caught Mike. They caught Mike. Can you go ahead and file that? You know, that lawyer on the other end. Can you go ahead and file that paperwork? Yeah, the divorce decree. Let's get this thing. I got to get out of here. Yeah, buddy. Out of here. All you got to do is watch American Greed. All those dudes be stealing that money on American Greed. Every last one of their wives leave them. Like all. It's like it's automatic. It's like the wife divorcing them goes with the loss, the L that they take, you know, when they get convicted. It's like that's part of the game. Losing your wife is part of the game. When you get caught, when you get convicted, losing your wife is part of the game. There's only there's like about this percentage who don't lose their wife. And I'm gonna tell you, you still lose in translation because she ain't gonna be lawyer that entire time, especially if you go down, especially if they hit you with a 10, 20-year sentence. Oh, she might be there when you get back. But she gonna have some extra miles on her. She gonna have some extra miles on her. You know how when you take your car to you take your car to get repaired, and you remember that, look, man, I know I only had 28,000 miles on my car, man. I come back and now it's 29,000 miles on me. Y'all been driving my car, man. So she might be back, but she gonna have some extra miles on her when you get back, partner. I can guarantee you that. So the best thing to do, man, is don't try to find that part out. Don't find that out. Just don't put yourself in a position to find that out. Just, you know, whatever you're doing, whatever moves you're making, make sure you stay on the ground. Stay on the ground and keep the cuffs off. Stay on the ground and keep the cuffs off, man, because you do not want to see what that other side looked like. You don't want to see that. Tall glass cocoa. Stardust abyss. Fact, 70% more divorces are filed by women. Actually, that number is 80%. 80. It says it's like 80 to 85% of most of divorces are filed by women. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all why 80 to 85% of divorces are filed by women. Y'all ready for this? All right, fellas. Y'all, some of y'all ain't gonna be able to take this, but here you go. Women marry men they can live with. Men marry women they can't live without. It's as simple as that. Think about it. I bet you every single lady listening to me right now going, that boy right. That boy right. You know what he's talking about. Yeah, man. Truth. That's why when it go bad, if it go bad, when it go bad, men, they become very extremely emotional. I mean, extremely emotional. And this is why a lot of times they become violent because they starting to think about, man, I done gave up all these women. I done gave up this life. You know, I done put everything into her, and she doing me like this. She treat me like she don't want to be with me. Oh man, I'm be ready to hurt something because they don't understand that we don't own each other. Man, you can put everything you got into a woman, everything. You can do everything for a woman. Give her everything. She could tell you, I love you. Get up off of it. Walk out that door and you'll never see her again. She'll tell you, yeah, I think we should start seeing other people. Men do that too. Men do that sometimes, you know. Men are like that too. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Now, women, on the other hand, women file, like I said, women file for divorces mostly because they get to a point where they can't live with a man. If they can't live with you, they're gonna divorce you. You know, they just get to the point where, you know what, I can't live with him. So then they're divorced. A lot of times, you know, they don't consider things, all these other things, you know what I'm saying? They just consider that, you know what, I just can't live with this guy anymore. And then they boom. And then they end up with another guy they can't live with. But the point is, men, women marry men they can live with. Men marry women they can't live without. All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Yeah, so enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. As for me, I'm in Turks and Caicos, living it up, baby. You dig what I'm saying? That's my time, fam. That's my time. Till next time, no more talk.